I was here last, but I'm shocked that Kanchori is getting all the punches right now, particularly I think because he appears to be against Raila Odinga. But I think I will not look at it that way. Kanchori is just one of the very many frustrated supporters, loyal supporters of Raila Odinga, particularly those who really thought this was Raila's best shot and that this was his most practicable shot at becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya. So I don't look at it as though he's trying to find some relevance in the revelations that are coming right now. Actually, what he says has been said by so many other people. The question of the money, the question of the disorganization, the question of the mismanagement of the transition between the campaigns and the election day. I mean, these are things that people have discussed. It's only that he comes out more bold, and because he was part of the kitchen cabinet of Raila Odinga, then now it gives it more weight and relevance. So Kanchori, in my view, is just one of the very many frustrated supporters of Raila Odinga, and very few who are bold enough to come out and speak, because in the previous elections, because that was the fifth shot that Raila was taking at the presidency. We've had Karoli Omondi at one point, we've had Eliud Owalo at another point, we've had Miguna at another point. So this is not something new. And my question would be, why would things be happening the very same fashion every other time? Does it mean there's some lack of seriousness at one point during the the process of the campaigns and the elections? I think that is more fundamental. And even going into the next election, then the question that should beg around Raila Odinga right now is, we've had these cases before. We've had these cases on several instances. I was just asking my senior Wafula Buke the other day that while he could have a problem with the timing of these revelations, he can't claim not to find the content of these revelations to be true, because he's on record on earlier occasions, of course, very different circumstances, making the very same allegations against people around Raila Odinga and the person of Raila Odinga himself. So while we would want to cushion Raila Odinga from the shock of his friends, fighting him at the time when he's very low and he appears to be politically down, we also have to speak facts. We also have to say the truth, that there was a lot of disorganization, not really at the campaigns. Actually, Raila's campaigns in 2022 were, in my view, among the best he's done through the number of years he's been in politics. But the transition between the campaigns and the election day were a mess, and intentionally so, and that costed him that election.
So were you a beneficiary? Because I've asked the same of advice, so it's only fair that I ask the same of you. Were you a beneficiary of these funds that Kanchori tells us that after Raila Odinga listed his potential cabinet or his projected cabinet, should he have secured the presidency, there were those who felt left out? No, wakaingiwa na baridi, wakasema basi this is our time to eat.
Well, I will not look at it as basic as who got what and at what point, but politically, the blunder that Kanchori tries to shed some light on is very fundamental for every politician. Look at it this way: there are a number of people who are supporting Raila with the hope of joining back the cabinet because Uhuru had directed them this was their candidate, and then suddenly, Raila picked a few and left others. You can imagine that impact on the support somebody gives you into an election. I think that was more important than who picked what money, and we all know the government was in support of that campaign. So where the government sends support, whatever support, material or otherwise, it must be real support.